Hi, Ramyaa, Daphne here. Thank you for sending in your next essays for correction, working so hard. Really well done. Okay, so here we've got an informal letter, writing to a friend, explain why you resigned from your job, describe your new work, and other updates. So, hello, Tamil, hope you're doing good. Technically, I know we say this in spoken English, but the correct version is hope you're doing well. And because this is a language exam, it is really important that we are correct. Yeah? And so I hope you're doing well. Um, Fine. I'm pleased to inform you that now this is too formal. Okay, we need to get this balance between informal and formal. I'm pleased to inform you that it's lovely for a formal letter, but not for an informal letter. So I just wanted to let you know is much more appropriate for an informal letter. On our podcasts, we've got lots of, or on the website, there's lots of podcasts about the differences between formal and informal. So if you're not completely sure, have a look at that. I've resigned, so you can contract as well. So I would show the examiner, you know that in an informal writing you can contract. Here, I've resigned from my old job. Okay, so you need to say I've resigned from my old job at Wilpro. As you were aware, I was really struggling to get a promotion or a salary hike, even though I was putting in, putting in so much hard work. It's really nice to use that phrasal verb there. Well done. So putting in, so we put in something, put in effort, put in hard work. Okay. Last month, I gathered all my anger and frustration. I had to study hard enough to crack an interview at Standard Bank. We wouldn't say I gathered all my anger. You could say I would more likely say I finally decided to push hard for an interview. And I know you might feel this isn't as dramatic in terms of showing off phrasal verbs, but it is correct. And I think that is really important here. Well, obviously, last month I finally decided to push hard for an interview at Standard Bank. We wouldn't crack an interview. You would. You just don't crack an interview. It just doesn't sound right. You could gather all your anger and frustration. You would harness an interview, but we just wouldn't say that. I think it's more important here to be accurate and to score the marks for accuracy rather than taking risks and not quite getting it right. Okay. Push hard for an interview at. Okay. Fortunately enough, so there should be an adverb. I got the appointment order this week. Now, appointment order. I know you mean interview, but you would just say appointment, not order. Or I got the letter through. Or confirmation would be better actually. Confirmation through this week. This new opportunity will allow me to explore more in Salesforce as I'm now a senior developer. Okay, or I will be. And the project team also told me I'll be working along with architects to design new web apps for this company. Excellent. Good, really nice work there. Moreover, this new year started optimistically for me. Now, moreover, I would not write that to a friend. Remember, informal letter, okay? Also, or happily, yeah? This year has also started optimistically for me. Remember I told you I wanted to get us a very high. One of my colleagues, apostrophe, dog, so the implication is that lots of your colleagues have dogs. So one of my colleagues' dogs has given birth to 5 cute puppies. She asked me if I wanted to take one of them. It's not a question. And yes, so I would go, I've now got a pretty little dog in my house, eh? Okay, well done. I've named him, said he's so lovely and he's always running around. Birth is ready for you to come and visit us. It'll look really nice. That's great. It's quite long, okay? 245. Remember, I would say maximum 180 here. Okay, put your effort into the task 2, which has more marks, as you probably know, than task 1. So you could cut this down. Yeah, you don't score more if you write more. You just lose time. But that's a really lovely letter. So you could cut this, puppies, so I now have Sid running around at home or something like that. Yeah, but that's a nice letter. Make sure you're not making any sort of what I call silly mistakes, and make sure you are just happy on this formal informal balance on the language there. Let's get into the essay. More and more people are travelling domestically or internationally, clearly many benefits. And some would argue it has some drawbacks. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages. So you need to have both, which you have got here. Let's just check the length on this one for you. Yeah, 3 to 7. Okay, lovely. Okay. Currently, due to inexorable urbanizations, many of us are under immense pressure in our work areas. Right, inexorable urbanizations. Whoa, I mean, I understand exactly what you mean, but it's a rather unusual phrase. And I don't really see how the urbanization gives you pressure at work. You mean work spaces, work areas. Okay. So I wouldn't say inexorable. I would be overcrowded and polluted urbanizations. Okay. And I think we would probably say urban areas rather than urbanizations. Many of us are under immense pressure in our work areas. Okay, so you mean the physical space. Okay. Due to this, comma, vacations, I would use plural, have become a necessity. I like that, but use the present perfect. Okay. It's not finished. It is ongoing. Has become a necessity as it helps us to balance life. Few of us tend to travel alone, whereas others try to utilize this opportunity to spend time with their families. That is not connected to the question. So few of us travel alone. I mean, that is not what this is about. Domestically, it means in your own country or overseas. Okay. So I don't think that is particularly relevant. It helps us to balance life. And I would say where some argue much pleasure, relaxation can be gained by exploring locally. So that's the idea of domestic. Others extol the virtues of how good it is of venturing overseas. So that kind of line deals with this idea of domestic or international. Okay? Yeah? Some have much pleasure. Some argue much pleasure can be gained, so passive verb here, by exploring locally. Others extol the virtues of venturing overseas. Let's discuss the advantages followed by disadvantages. Yeah. Yes, you can have that first. Let's discuss. It's a little bit informal. I would prefer this essay. We'll discuss the key benefits of traveling. Including stress release, yeah, and acknowledge disadvantages such as something or other. Okay, whatever you're going to say next. But this is very important. Remember this kind of sentence. This is a good way to end your introduction. Okay, the reason I don't like this is that you've got advantages and disadvantages. You're not telling me at all what they might be. So this is a little bit what I call a kind of like an empty sentence. Every single sentence needs to connect to your essay right now. So benefits, including stress release. So I'm saying something personal for this essay. Disadvantages such as, yeah, and then you've got your disadvantages down there. Okay. Really, really important that. This is the kind of thing that will get you a band 7. These little things that you just need to take on board and keep practicing. Okay. So psychologists suggest people who tend to go on trips more often, either to local or international, good, have lesser, you'd have to go lower, but lovely sentence, good work. This is because, really nice, so you're developing it, that's perfect, of the changing environment around them, which has lower pollution. Okay, so put physical environment to lower pollution levels. Okay, really nice. This also allows them to try new adventures, explore nature, and learn a few life skills like cooking. Lovely. Moreover, it might help. So rather than having present tense all the way through, it might help them to bond with their loved ones, plural, no apostrophe, and create beautiful memories. Good. Okay, really nice writing. Well done. Good development there. Due to the above points, they. Now we've repeated they a lot. Okay, so let's say who they are, these people. Workers, families. Yeah, I mean, rather than they, let's just have some kind of people in here. Are able to have a proper. Yes, rather than have, I would use the word build. And rather than are, I would go they may be able to. So just rather than just saying the present tense all the way through, which is fine, but you need to show a bit more skill here. For instance, a recent survey stated, I'm definitely going to the reported speech, past tense here, the employees who tend to take some, and again tended, just do it all in the past tense to show, otherwise you kind of don't have a chance to show much variety, do you? Take time off work, worked more efficiently than the ones who did not. Okay, so I'm just going to put reported speech. And just remind yourself of reported speech. Quite nice to be able to show that in your example. Okay? But good paragraph, otherwise nicely balanced, well organised. Good work. On the contrary, yeah, on the contrary, or maybe just in contrast, travelling has its drawbacks as well. And longer sentence, the first aspect, could be. So here, rather than is, you see how we've got a lot of present simple. Could be. Solicitude for safety, which fades our enthusiasm for the trip, even though governments and private sectors have increased, so plural, the safety measures of hotspot locations via continuous CV. Now, I would put have recently increased the safety measures. So you want to take that comma out there. So you're going, even though governments and private sectors have recently increased the safety measures of hotspot tourism locations via continuous CCTV camera monitoring. Good. The repercussions just of this, you don't need to say made by. You can just repercussions of this. Of this. Parochial. Now, parochial is an adjective which describes local. So you could have parochial problem of, but do you see what the problem is of theft or something like that? You need to tell me what the problem might be, because you've mentioned safety, but what are the problems? So you can have here repercussions of this parochial problem of theft. Then I know what the problem is you're referring to. Does not allow us to enjoy vacation to its fullest. On the other hand, money and extensive planning is also involved. Not on the other hand, additionally. So on the other hand, suggests a contrast. Here you're adding information. So additionally, money and extensive planning is also involved while going on a trip. For example, while we're on a trip, and I wouldn't put we, I would just put on a trip due to unforeseen circumstances, more money. So do it in the passive. Yeah. So on a trip due to unforeseen circumstances, more money than previously budgeted may be spent. Okay, so you've got a much more complex structure here, which is the kind of thing that we're looking for. Okay, and bring it in balance. To conclude, I know it's not an opinion essay, but you can put your opinion in here, I believe. And I don't put pros and cons because this is the same problem as we have up here with just like an empty sentence, and it's also way too informal. So this bit here. So pros and cons. Okay, there are both benefits. You could use the word benefits of stress release or of reduced stress, something, and despite safety issues. So you've given me an idea of what these problems might be. You're just kind of recapping on this. However, rather than we expect, it is hoped that. So keep it impersonal. It is hoped that. A few. Watch out between a few and few. A few is some. Few is not many at all. So there's a really big difference between a few and few. Watch out for that. Okay. You've done some really, really good work. There are quite a few things in here which please have a look at really carefully. Please make a note of some of the errors that you're making. Hopefully what I'm trying to guide you towards will be the band 7 level. Not there yet. There are a few issues here to keep practicing, but you're really making progress. Well done. It's not much push to keep on going. Good work.